presentation of the Oregon Sports Network.
And Oregon is going to play in the national championship game.
Welcome to Duck Insider.
Man, it feels great to be a Duck.
Give it to me, baby. My house. I'm taking it there.
They're competitors. They'll want to put the O on.
Three. Got it.
We're going to compete to a standard every day.
The Oregon standard.
Rebound. Up and in. 1 point more to go.
The opportunity to play, put Oregon on your chest, should mean a great deal to you.
Unloads on one into left field. Back toward the wall. Gone.
This program is staged to compete and to win championships.
Oregon wins.
This is Duck Insider on the Oregon Sports Network from Learfield, presented by On Point Community Credit Union. Better banking, local solutions. Live from the Country Financial Studio, let's talk Oregon athletics.
Joey Mack here with you inside that Country Financial Studio. We've got Rob Moseley coming up. We're going to discuss Oregon football during the bye week. Things to know about the bye week for the Ducks. We'll talk with Rob about that coming up on the show today. We also have Oregon men's basketball head coach Dana Altman. He talked to the media after practice in the afternoon on Monday. Didn't get a chance to have it for you yesterday because we had to say farewell to Lisa Peterson. If you missed our conversation with Oregon Deputy Athletic Director Lisa Peterson, who's going to become the Senior Associate Commissioner for the Pac-12 Conference, it was awesome to say farewell to her. I hope that we did it the right way with a lot of help, and we wish her nothing but the best. That was yesterday's show. You can go back to the Oregon Sports Network podcast or go back watch the show on YouTube, Facebook, the Oregon Sports Network Twitter if you missed it. It was a great time with Lisa Peterson, and certainly a bittersweet moment for all of us. Excited for her, but we're going to miss her around here at the University of Oregon. There's no doubt about it. So we got Dana Altman for you coming up here in just a little while, as well as Matt Ulmer, Oregon volleyball head coach. Will Richardson and Valdo Soares also talked to the media getting ready for this men's basketball season. First, though, before we talk men's basketball, how about women's basketball? The Ducks have a schedule, ladies and gentlemen. It is available on GoDucks.com. The full schedule has been released. It begins this month, October 28th. The Ducks against Carroll College in an exhibition, 6 o'clock on October 28th. That's when the season gets started. And then a collection of non-conference games against Northwestern, Seattle U, Southern Utah all at home, Portland at home, and then Oregon State on December 11th in the first Pac-12 game. They will play in the PK85, just like the men will. The women will play in that PK85 tournament over the Thanksgiving holiday weekend. And after they play Oregon State in December, also Eastern Washington and College of Charleston at home before they head off to another tournament in San Diego on December 20th and 21st. And then Pac-12 play begins with UCLA and USC at home on December 30th and January 1st. And here's hoping that a 2 o'clock tip time for Oregon women's basketball against USC doesn't interfere with any Rose Bowls. We don't want that interference with a Rose Bowl. I'm just throwing it out there. Just, something to think about for fans as you overlap. GoDucks.com has you covered for the entire women's basketball schedule. You can start planning things out because it is upon us. Let's hear from Dana Altman now on the men's side of things. Ducks with some new faces, but also a number of returning faces for this Oregon men's basketball team. They're at practice. They're practicing pretty much every afternoon these days. And I got to tell you, it was fun watching them practice earlier this week. Dana Altman talking with the media, getting ready for this men's basketball season.
What was it about Coach Fish back in 1989 at Marshall that made you decide that I want to spend maybe parts of the next 32 years with this guy?
Boy, that's a tough question. When I went to Marshall all those years ago, he had just finished playing, and I needed a GA, and we were scrambling. I took the job late, and just all the time I was in the office, he was there, show up on weekends and that, so he kind of earned the GA's job, and then just has been with me at different times throughout the last 32, 33 years. So, but no, he's good to have around. He knows our stuff. He knows what we're trying to accomplish, so he's good to have.
Obviously, you've been doing this a long time. On October 10th, whatever it is, practice. What are the basic tenets you're trying to get established right now?
Well, we need to get our defensive principles. We we were a very inconsistent ball team last year, and part of that was our rebounding and our defense. Our defensive numbers weren't good last year. Our rebounding numbers weren't good last year. And on the nights we didn't shoot it well, it really cost us. And one of the consistencies we have had is, we've usually been a little better rebounding team, and we've usually been a little better defensive team. So we need to establish that early. Got a lot of new guys we're trying to work in. Got some nagging, things that we're trying to get through with a couple guys, but just trying to get, what our expectations are and, what we believe is important. There's a lot of different ways to play the game, but we feel that certain things have been successful for us in the past, and hopefully we're trying to establish those.
Those aren't necessarily the most glamorous elements of the game, but with some veteran transfers, with some veteran returnees, you feel like these are guys that are amenable to that?
Well, I hope so. Leadership's so important, but Will, Quincy, and Dante are really trying to do a good job. A year ago at this time, Dante was nursing a ACL recovery and wasn't even practicing. Quincy wasn't practicing with a knee problem, and Will wasn't practicing. We didn't have any one of the three practicing in October last year. So, having those three guys and the leadership there, and then, the transfers that we have a lot of experience in Keyshawn and Jermaine. So, we do have those five that have played a lot of basketball, and then Waldo was with us last year. Luke was with us last year. So, we're hoping that helps us out.
Has there been any adjustment or has it helped at all having the August trip and things are maybe being installed, picked up a little earlier?
Yeah, it helped us with, just getting some guys together and, the extra 10 days that we had. So, yeah, those things, help, especially, with our late start of school, and the NCAA doesn't let us start till September 15th, and guys that are in school in August get to start a lot quicker. Sometimes it takes us a while to do some catching up, but the foreign trips definitely do help us.
Is this coming together a little bit like that 1920 team was a little, Dana, where you had Peyton back and you added a Shakur and an Anthony and Chris was coming in at that point, that when you talk about veterans and you don't only have one freshman out there, that this kind of has that nucleus of between talent and experience like that team did a little bit?
Every year is different, but there are probably some similarities. I never thought of it in that regard, but we do have a veteran point in Will, and we had a veteran point there with Peyton, bringing in a couple vets. So, but I just hope we stay healthy. Dante, since he's been here, really hadn't been able to show what he's capable of because he hadn't been healthy, but he's healthy now. He's bouncing around. He's been our most productive player in practice. Really hadn't even been close. So we'd like to keep him healthy. Quincy's looking good. He's bouncing around a lot better than he was a year ago. So keeping everybody healthy is always a big factor in any team sport, so hopefully we can keep him healthy and keep making progress.
Last year you said that you sometimes struggled with the work ethic of the team, that you didn't have to kick people out of the gym as much as you might have liked. I know it's early, but have you seen a change in that so far this year?
Yeah, our guys are getting in more on their own. This isn't, rocket science. If you're not putting the time in, it's hard to be really good. The 20 hours we're allowed to work with them isn't good enough, and the guys that have been successful here that I've had an opportunity to work with here at Creighton and Kansas State, the guys that were successful were the guys that put in a lot of time. And putting in a lot of time doesn't guarantee success, but not putting the time in does guarantee that you're probably not going to be your best. And so I'm hoping our guys understand that. We've tried to make it really clear to them. I have noticed a lot more guys putting in time, but it's not a part-time thing. You can't do it for a few weeks or a month and say, well, this is good enough. The guys that make a commitment to it, Kyle Korver stayed in the in the league for 17 years, he never changed his work ethic. Never. You know, Brooks, Dylan, he works harder today than he did, and that's hard to do because he worked his ass off here. So, you know, the guys, like I said, I've been fortunate enough to coach that have made it. That's one thing. They love the game and they love to be in the gym.
What's your 5 for Will? Every player wants to get better at something. What are you focused on having him get better at for your 5 for him?
Well, you know, his leadership, you know, he needs to take leadership. He knows what we're trying to do. You know, he knows what has got his conference championships and Sweet 16s, and he's also seen the other side of it, you know, what hasn't worked. So, you know, I'm depending on that leadership. You know, he's been great to work with over the course of his career. I'm glad he's back. I think he can have a tremendous year for us. But it's a team game. You know, he's got to bring his teammates along with him. He's got to pay attention to details of the game. But I want him to have an outstanding year. You know, I'd sure like to see him continue to get better, stay healthy, and have an opportunity to keep playing.
With something like a too big lineup, for you, is that completely opponent based, or for you to feel comfortable doing that, does one of them have to have a skill like perimeter shooting or be able to switch on the perimeter for you to feel that you could play those guys together for lengths?
Oh, you know, the skill level's got to be there. You know, we've got to have a jumbo package offensively. You know, defensively, you know, can they go out on the perimeter? And some of it'll be opponent based. You know, if they are going small, can Dante or somebody go out on the perimeter and guard? You know, those are all question marks that, you know, can be answered here in the next month or two. But obviously, you know, the skill level, Nate's a very good passer. His perimeter skills are a little bit better than our other 2 bigs. But, you know, all 3 of them are decent passers. And so I think we could put some things together. We got to get Nate healthy right now, but hopefully he'll be back here in a week or 2, and we'll be able to get some things put together.
Is that what dates back to the Canada trip?
Yeah. Yep.
So, sorry. No, saying it goes back about a month or so.
Yeah. No, it's the MRIs are good and everything. We just have some tenderness there, and it's kind of been off and on. So we decided to rest him here for a while, see if we can get him more on than off. So.
Since you guys overlapped a little bit during the early part of your tenure, from a coach's perspective, what made Chip Kelly so successful at Oregon?
Well, Chip was very consistent on his expectations. You know, he went to practice every day, and he was very consistent on what he expected day to day. You know, I've always enjoyed going out and watching football practice, and you know, I've watched all the coaches since I've been here. You know, I'm on my 5th one now, so I've had some observations on football coaches. But you know, Chip was very, you know, innovative at the time. You know, the belief was there from his players, the staff. His consistency, like I said, I thought was a big factor. We'll go and watch them practice every day. You know, so. You know, I like I said, everybody's different. There's a lot of different ways to coach the game, a lot of different ways to play the game, but whether it's football, basketball, you know, you just, as a coach, you got to be comfortable with what you're doing, and Chip had a great comfort level of what he wanted to do. Dan, you know, I've been really impressed with his staff and the movement in their practice, the pace of their practice. The enthusiasm in their practices, you know, I think is really good. So, again, just I don't know a goddamn thing about football. You know, I'm a fan. You know, I got my opinion like everybody else, but I like watching how things are done. Organization. It's a whole different thing, you know, with 100 football players than it is with 15 basketball players. But it is interesting to watch the organization, the movement, the efficiency, the pace. You know, those things are all important.
With these new guys, does it at all surprise you that they're able to kind of have this early success being so young in their careers as they are?
Oh, No, those guys are all experienced. They're young, but they're experienced, and their enthusiasm level, and those guys have been at winning programs, and so I think that does carry over.
With the schedule now set, just a couple things, Dana. One, is the Michigan trip, is that ever going to happen? Is they ever coming back, or is that just bought out and done at this point?
No, there's no buyout there. They're coming, I don't know. They have a hard time answering the phone, I guess. But no, they owe us a game, and we fully expect them to repay the game. I'm sure if the shoe was on the other foot, they would expect us to return it, and we sure in the hell expect them to return it.
And then with no non-conference true road games, is that just happenstance, or were you hoping?
It didn't happen that we had an opportunity that we liked. With Houston coming in and with Michigan owing us a game, it wasn't like we needed to get a game, for next year that somebody owed us. So no, it wasn't something that we just said we're not going on the road. It was just the way it happened. And again, scheduling isn't an exact science, and being out here on the West Coast does create problems with some people not wanting to travel. But again, it's a good schedule. It'll challenge us. Going to UCLA early is going to be a tough road trip, but and I think the Pac-12 will be pretty solid. So I think our schedule will give us everything we want.
A lot of good stuff from Dana Altman, Oregon men's basketball head coach. How about the fact that in Folly Dante, he said it's not even been close, the way that he's been working in practice. They've got all these veterans back. They're all practicing together in October. Wasn't a thing last year. Ducks were so banged up last year heading into the season, and it felt like they never got their momentum going the way they wanted to and the way they could have toward the end of the season. Practice in the offseason matters so much. I think that Canada trip, huge key. Huge key. Ducks are gelling, and if N'Faly Dante is the guy that we all know he can be, and if he's healthy, I think N'Faly Dante is going to be a big-time player for the Ducks this year. When we come back, Rob Moseley is going to join us, editor-in-chief of GoDucks.com. It's the bye week for Oregon football. Dan Lanning said that we're working hard still on the Ducks. That's what Coach Lanning said. What's Rob Moseley working on? We're going to find out after this on the Oregon Sports Network from Learfield.
Dear gas prices, Toyota is the #1 retail brand for electrified vehicles for 22 years. That says it all. Toyota hybrids. Find yours at Toyota.com. Toyota, let's go places.
Based on manufacturer estimates, CY 2000 through 2021 sales.
Hey Duck fans, we're all about protecting our home turf here in Eugene. You should do the same for your home with Country Financial Insurance. Most home insurance doesn't account for inflation, but with Country Financial, yours can. If something happens to your home, make sure you can rebuild the same house in the same place. Call a local representative or 866-COUNTRY and get a solid defense for your home. Home insurance policies issued by Country Mutual Insurance Company, Country Casualty Insurance Company, or Country Preferred Insurance Company, Bloomington, Illinois. Property must meet age and condition requirements, which vary by state.
Dear gas prices, Toyota is the #1 retail brand for electrified vehicles for 22 years. That says it all. Toyota hybrids. Find yours at Toyota.com. Toyota, let's go places.
Based on manufacturer estimates, CY 2000 through 2021 sales.
Your daily dose of Oregon athletics. This is Duck Insider from Learfield.
Ready for our little forest adventure?
Yes! So much waiting for me. Yeah, I wanna go outside. I wanna be.
We're here.
Whoa, that was fast.
There's a forest closer than you think. Find a park or forest near you and music inspired by nature at discovertheforest.org. Brought to you by USDA Forest Service and the Ad Council.
You're not too cool for me. And in return, I reciprocate that sentiment. I'll never be too cool for you. I was a man with a plan, but now I'm a dad with a decree, and you can't take that from me. Please let it be noted that I told my job they can dock my pay. Right now, it's just too important to take you to school every day. I want to be legendary for you. I want you to puff out your chest when you go to school, the same way I do. I walk taller because of you, because I found everything to live for.
That's dedication. Visit fatherhood.gov to hear more. Brought to you by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services and the Ad Council.
Back inside the Country Financial Studio, Duck Insider, presented by On Point Community Credit Union. Joey Mack, Rob Moseley, the editor-in-chief of GoDucks.com. He's literally editing GoDucks.com right now. Modern technology. That's pretty fun that you can do that.
I was not doing that.
Yes, you
were. But I could do that.
Yeah, you were doing that.
I have done that before. From the phone.
I bet you have. Have you ever had to do that, like, right before taking off, like, making an edit on an airplane? Have you ever, like, snuck one in right before?
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, no doubt.
Like, all the time?
Like, back when I would do, like, a Friday practice report before a road trip, or, like, this past weekend, I was working on something in the airport. I can't remember what it was.
Something. You write a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
Do you have any idea how many words you write on average a week?
Oh, gosh, no. No, because I don't really, like, my brain still works in, like, inch counts from newspapers.
Okay, sure. Yeah.
So I never, or have yet to transition to, like, word counts.
Okay.
I have still, maybe it's a curse, but, or a blessing. Like, I still sort of have this innate sense for, this is how many, like, inches, this type of story would garner for the newspaper.
Okay.
Which I think, you learned over the years is about how much people want.
Yep.
And so, like, yeah, recap. And then even though I don't publish in inches anymore, it's still, like, this is about how long that is. So if I'm writing this type of a story, it needs to be about this long. And
Interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's not a lot of science behind that.
Well, but it's funny, though, because that's like,
a lot of assumptions.
In the broadcast realm, the equivalent is like if you have a sound on tape, right?
Mhm.
That's you and I were actually just talking about this the other day. Yeah, I saw it. If you have a sound on tape, we still call it that, even though there's no tape involved.
Right.
No,
I in football particularly, they still talk about watching the tape.
That's right. The film.
I have to say this. I don't have to say this. But I will say.
These are the best interviews that we do with Rob. I'm ready.
I find it a little silly, you see a lot of, like, kind of message board fans who I love. They're some of the most passionate fans. But they reference, I watched the tape.
Uh-huh.
And how silly that is, because there's no way any of them watched any tape, literally speaking.
Uh-huh.
And then B, the lack of qualifications to
Yes.
assess what they're
Yes.
seeing, quote unquote, on tape is a little silly as well.
Again,
I love the passion. But,
this is the tape,
right?
That we know and love.
Actual tape.
Yeah. This is gaff tape, a broadcaster's friend. It also, I'm gonna.
You put that over my mouth when I have a verbal gaff.
That was good.
Yeah.
That was good. That was good smithing of the word.
Yes, thank you.
That was well done. Gaff tape, though, it also serves as a great volleyball holder for Matt Ulmer's volleyball coming up later on the show today.
All of us have to try to be as multifaceted as we can.
Understood, yeah.
So it's nice to see even the gaffer tape kind of embracing that spirit.
Yeah, no doubt. No doubt.
Other
about
duties
that.
as assigned.
Yeah. Well, boy, we've almost gone with our entire time with Rob Moseley today. He's the editor-in-chief of GoDucks.com. So I said this heading into the break, Rob. I kind of joked, like, Coach Lanning said, hey, we're working on Oregon. That's what the Ducks are doing this week. It's a chance to get better. And as we heard from Coach Lanning yesterday, a chance to also maybe look ahead to some other opponents, not just UCLA.
Right.
Well, what are you working on this week? Are you working on Rob Moseley this week?
Bye weeks are funny because it's always like, I can't wait to unplug.
Right.
And then there's like these 5 things that have been on the back burner for 2 months that you're like, oh, no.
They're on the front burner now.
Yeah, now I can't keep those on the back burner. So I think those of us who are in kind of the shining a light business, the storytelling business, know that there's a ton of great stories always that aren't being told just because there aren't enough hours in the day. Mm-hmm. And so, yeah, now we have time to do some of that work, and it's important work too. And yeah, for as much as it would be nice to just I am going to take probably most of the day Friday and all of the day Saturday and just sit around on the behind and watch football.
You're gonna be a fan again.
But yeah, my Rogue River trip fell through.
Yeah,
so,
I heard.
Yeah,
sorry, buddy.
But it'll be fine. I will persevere.
I'll
will push through. And
I know I have some remedies for you that will help with that pushing through, and you know what they are.
Love it.
Yeah.
Yeah. The real question now is. So I've been letting my hair grow out because I was going to cut a mohawk for the river trip.
Okay.
Just to be ridiculous.
Sure. As you are.
Yeah. Because, you have to still be ridiculous sometimes in life.
Absolutely.
And now the river trip's not going on. So, do I cut what do I do with my hair? I have all this hair now. Let it go? Yeah. I mean, part of me is like, yeah, My birthday's Sunday. I'm going to turn 46 years old.
Hey, happy early birthday.
Thank you. You're literally the first to say it.
Oh.
It's not going to be up there forever.
Yeah.
And it's not going to be this color forever. So maybe I'm just going to kind of let it go and enjoy it. Yeah. Like I have a pretty pronounced widow's peak. So if I let it go a little bit, I can kind of mitigate that a little.
Sure. Hair insider.
Whereas if I just cut it all off, then it's much more manageable. But then it's like, whoa, bro.
Might never see it again.
Yeah, you're on the retreat up there.
So let's ask the obvious question.
Yes.
What does your significant other think?
She hates the hair growing out.
Well,
which kind of I hate to
answers
say
that
it.
question.
The devil on my one shoulder is louder than the angel on the other shoulder.
Sure.
And that devil's saying, "Let it go, brother. Let
You
it
know,
go."
there's such a thing as a playoff beard.
Yeah.
Maybe you can pawn it off as playoff hair.
Bro, we've won 5 in a row.
I know.
Like, I'm not changing anything.
I think,
Boom.
hey.
I'm a team player.
I think you're doing your part.
Yes.
I think you're doing your part. Football season, though.
Yeah.
It's the bye week.
Yes.
We joke,
Right.
but this is a chance for Oregon to get better.
Yeah.
And, you've said this a lot, Rob, and I think it's kind of become, at least for me, one of the storylines of the season that when the Ducks identify something that they want to improve on, they've done it.
Yep.
The next upcoming week. Well, now Coach Lanning said, this is a chance to identify a few things.
Yeah.
I'm fascinated to see how Oregon sort of accelerates out of this bye week, especially with a big-time opponent coming up.
Well, he said yesterday. Uh-oh. Cough button. Sorry about that. He said yesterday, I think, they've got, kind of individual improvement plans for each guy. And one of the things he said today at practice, I heard him say a couple of different times on the microphone, was, what's your favorite mistake? Which is a strange kind of formulation, but I think that's him in practice reminding guys, what is your thing that you've identified to say, hey, this is something that, I haven't been getting right that I'm going to really use this time to get right. So, and yeah, he's striking that tone of kind of upbeat and positive, and let's be proactive and let's nip things in the bud before they, grow out, get out of control. And yeah, he's finding that right balance right now of constructive development while also, enjoying the fact that, winning is fun and you got to enjoy it too. So, I continue to be impressed by that balance that he's able to strike with these guys and how open guys are to that message, not getting too caught up in what they need to fix or too caught up in the success they're having and kind of, experiencing both and processing both and moving forward with both in mind.
Dare we say growth mindset?
Yeah, absolutely.
That's
1% better.
Yeah. Did you get 1% better today?
I got
the day's not over yet.
I got some Grateful Dead tickets today.
So you got 10% better today.
Yeah, it's more than 1%. Yeah.
You got so today's a 10%er. So now
speaking of ticking off the significant other.
Oh boy.
Woo, July 2023.
You're ready.
Yes. Yeah, I was not committed enough at a young enough age to go on tour.
But you are now. 46 and young, baby.
Yes. I'm going 3 straight weekends next summer. Boulder, the Gorge, and San Francisco.
You've earned it.
Tell her
You've
that.
earned it.
Tell her that.
I will.
Yeah.
I will.
Let her know.
Yeah, I will. Well, your significant other was instrumental in getting us the needed images for Lisa Peterson yesterday. So
2 days in a row with the Brielle shout-out.
Yeah. 2 days in a row.
She's infamous.
No, famous.
Notorious?
Just famous.
Just famous.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
You can say infamous. If I say that, then I can't say that.
That's like a underhanded dig.
Yeah,
kind
that's
of
a
thing.
dig.
Yeah.
No, that's not right. Volleyball.
Yep.
Women's soccer.
Yep.
Both on the road this week. Chance for a little bit of a bounce back for both teams.
Yeah, no doubt. I mean, that volleyball program with, playing without their setter last week was obviously tough. And Elise Ferrer is absolutely one of my favorite kids in this whole athletic department. And she's got a week under her belt now of being the setter for this team. And, you fully expect that, okay, you got that under your belt. You've weathered that. Now, kind of get your feet under you and let's get rolling again. They had such good momentum, and they were in both those matches in Washington last week and just couldn't quite finish them off. Kind of got themselves, squandered a lead against Washington State, and then got themselves in a hole against Washington. So it's kind of developed 2 different ways. Both of them really close, but it's like, all right, you got those behind you. You've faced a couple tests now. Get back to where you were, which is pulling out matches like that against tough opponents, and that's gonna be fun to watch. And soccer, just they need to start just stacking some wins. They need to. I think that we were all excited this year that a team that was getting a lot of ties and things like that needed to start pulling out some wins and felt like they had the personnel to do it. Unfortunately, with all these injuries that they've been dealing with, that's been hard. But it's now or never. You got to really start padding your resume, so that because the tournament was their goal and it's not off the table despite all the adversity they've been through. But you gotta go out and play yourself into consideration now. You might have hoped if all the cards had fallen right, you'd already be feeling really good about your situation and just trying to hang on to it. That's not how things have played out.
Right.
So, hey, let's go. Finish strong and get yourself where you wanted to be all along.
He's Rob Moseley. He's the editor-in-chief, GoDucks.com. Probably going to be editing GoDucks.com here right when he walks out of this room because he's always editing GoDucks.com.
Even if it's just up here.
That's right.
The wheels are always spinning.
Yeah, it's
sometimes slower than other times.
But it's okay.
Right, but
that's what the caffeine's for.
Yeah, absolutely.
We've discussed this.
Right.
That afternoon pick-me-up, you
Yes.
know. We're here for you.
Let's go.
All right. Rob Moseley.
Got my lunch. I can get some calories.
Hey, you have a fabulous bye week, sir.
Hey, thanks, bro. You too.
Yeah. I wish you were on the Rogue River, though, man. I'm sorry.
Yeah, so do I. But you know what? First world problems.
That's right.
I'm going to have an awesome weekend.
What an alternative to watch football all
I'm going
day.
to miss my bros, but it's the thing about the river is it'll be there next year.
It will. That it will.
If it's not, we got bigger problems.
We sure do.
Yep.
We sure do. And so for now, I'm just going to watch football with you.
Sounds
Rob
great.
Moseley, editor-in-chief, GoDucks.com. When we come back, going through the schedule for the week, and then Matt Ulmer, Oregon volleyball head coach, is going to be with us. So stick with us on Duck Insider. We're back after this on the Oregon Sports Network from Learfield.
At Shadow Hills Country Club, our all-inclusive event pricing allows us to take care of all of the details while you enjoy your event. Our wedding garden, expansive grounds, ballroom, and meeting rooms can accommodate any size event and come complete with full catering and service staff. From weddings to business and social events, Shadow Hills offers the benefits of a resort atmosphere and the peace of a country setting just minutes from downtown Eugene. For more details, call us today or go to shadowhillsevents.com.
From the weight room to the classroom, on the field and off it, On Point proudly supports University of Oregon athletics because student athletes do so much more than bring us pride on game day. They bring our entire community together in Eugene and all across Oregon. So whether you're watching the game in the stadium, at home, or at your favorite local business, their success makes all of us stronger. On Point Community Credit Union, onpointcu.com. Federally insured by NCUA, Equal Housing Opportunity.
You're listening to Duck Insider. Duck Insider on the Oregon Sports Network from Learfield.
Hi, I'm Smokey Bear, and I made an assistant to help you out, because only you can prevent wildfires.
Hey, Assistant Smokey Bear. Call me Papa Bear, because I'm grilling up dinner. Do you get it?
Yes, good job.
So, what should I do with all these coals?
Don't just toss them out. Put them in a metal container because those embers can start a wildfire.
I understand. The stakes are high.
Ha, 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 ha.
Learn more at smokeybear.com.
Brought to you by the U.S. Forest Service, your state forester, and the Ad Council.
Uh-oh, Brad's buzzed.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, he's starting with the woots. And now a speech.
I just want to say that friendship is about heart and brain. Who's with me?
Good thing is, he knows when he's buzzed.
And my brain is saying, when it's time to go home, somebody call me a ride.
Love that guy.
Me too.
Know your buzzed warning signs? Call for a ride when it's time to go home. Buzz driving is drunk driving. A message from NHTSA and the Ad Council.
Back inside the Country Financial Studio, Duck Insider, presented by On Point Community Credit Union. Joey Mack here with you. We got Matt Ulmer coming up. Brought to you by the Willamette Valley Cancer Institute and Research Center. Fight like a duck with exceptional cancer care close to home. Again, as we begin your Cafe Yum 2-minute drill, it is the Pink Game. We're getting ready for the Pink Game. You saw it on the mannequin, our good friend Richard here, and I think that's awesome. The jersey, by the way, has already sold out. Well done, fans. It's already sold out. Well done. For the weekend schedule, it begins on Friday. Soccer against Washington State. It's not the Pink Game, unfortunately, for soccer. But, you know, I guess they could wear pink jerseys. They might. bust something out. I have no inside information on the subject. Maybe Matt does. He just walked in. We'll see what Coach Ulmer thinks. He doesn't have any inside information. Washington State live stream, by the way, for Friday's soccer match. And then at 8 o'clock, Oregon volleyball at USC. We're going to talk with the head coach ahead of that Pac-12 Network broadcast here coming up. Your Cafe Yum 2-minute drill, always brought to you by Cafe Yum, restaurants throughout Oregon and Washington. Coach Ulmer's here. That means we're going to take a break because I want to spend a long time talking with Coach Ulmer because I don't know if he watched Lisa Peterson's interview yesterday. Fabulous stuff. Great stuff. This is going to be the best interview that we've done with Coach Ulmer ever. That's next on the Oregon Sports Network from Learfield.
Dear gas prices, Toyota is the #1 retail brand for electrified vehicles for 22 years. That says it all. Toyota hybrids. Find yours at Toyota.com. Toyota, let's go places.
Based on manufacturer estimates, CY 2000 through 2021 sales.
From the weight room to the classroom, on the field and off it, On Point proudly supports University of Oregon athletics because student athletes do so much more than bring us pride on game day. They bring our entire community together in Eugene and all across Oregon. So whether you're watching the game in the stadium, at home, or at your favorite local business, their success makes all of us stronger. On Point Community Credit Union, onpointcu.com. Federally insured by NCUA, Equal Housing Opportunity.
Dear gas prices, Toyota is the #1 retail brand for electrified vehicles for 22 years. That says it all. Toyota hybrids. Find yours at Toyota.com. Toyota, let's go places.
Based on manufacturer estimates, CY 2000 through 2021 sales.
This is Duck Insider, presented by On Point Community Credit Union on the Oregon Sports Network from Learfield.
To your children's eyes to see the true magic of a forest. It's a storybook world for them. You look and see a tree. They see the wrinkled face of a wizard with arms outstretched to the sky. They see treasure in pebbles. They see a windy path that could lead to adventure. And they see you, their fearless guide through this fascinating world.
Find a forest near you and start exploring at discovertheforest.org. Brought to you by the United States Forest Service and the Ad Council.
Adopt US Kids presents What to Expect When You're Expecting a Teenager. Learning the lingo.
Jelly. Jelly adjective. Jelly is a shorter, better way to say jealous. As in, Chloe, I am like so jelly of your unicorn phone case.
You don't have to speak teen to be a perfect parent. Thousands of teens in foster care will love you just the same. Visit adoptuskids.org. Brought to you by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services, Adopt US Kids, and the Ad Council.
Back inside the Country Financial Studio, Duck Insider presented by On Point Community Credit Union. Matt Ulmer is here, ladies and gentlemen. Look at those socks and sandals back. Ugh, I love this camera just for this look. Those are great. Do you know how awesome you are as an individual?
No.
Matt Ulmer, Oregon volleyball head coach. Okay.
That's the first I've ever heard that, actually.
That's not true. I say that to you all the time.
And that was actually more of a question than a statement.
I say that to you all the time. You just are always not listening because you cannot take a compliment from me without it being sarcastic.
It's because I don't believe you. We have trust issues. It's a bad relationship. This is a toxic relationship.
I can't even respond.
I try to eliminate those in my life.
Without. Well, and you're still here. You could have said no to the interview today.
Really?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
You can always say no.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
It's not like an accept-decline thing.
Sure it is. When I send you the calendar invitation, you can either accept, tentative, or decline.
Okay. I thought that was more of just so you know.
Well,
here's the time so you can remember. Not like, hey, would you like to come on? Love to have you.
I mean, I guess
you make my Wednesdays good.
I guess you could take it that way. You do make my Wednesdays good.
Okay.
Do you believe me?
Nope.
I love that you always look over at Scott for the confirmation of ridiculousness.
Because he knows you.
He does.
Yeah, he knows.
It's too bad.
Is it? For him.
For him, yeah. That's what I mean. Yeah. For him. Anyway.
But most of the time he goes, you're right.
Yeah. All right, before we talk about volleyball, Lisa Peterson yesterday.
Yeah, I watched that.
She knew it was you that asked that question.
I saw that.
And that's okay.
She should know that, though.
But did you hear what I said?
That's why she's the best, because she knew.
Yeah, that's right. But did you hear what I said?
What'd you say?
See? I give him a compliment live on the air yesterday.
And I want you to repeat it.
And he That was good.
Thank you.
Yeah, that was good. I can't even keep up the face anymore.
She
after
gave
that.
me a compliment too.
Did she?
You were there.
Oh, I thought she did it off the air too, maybe.
Oh. No.
No. Okay. You do have great hair.
Thanks a lot.
And I think you might have the best hair in the department.
Yours looks nice today.
Scott's got the silver fox going.
I like that.
It works good.
I'll be there soon. Yeah, I'm on my way.
Yeah. But are you going to embrace that? Like, are you going to own it?
I already have.
Good.
Yeah, my wife said give me till 40, but I said no.
Sure.
So I've never,
But you're 29.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. True. I was.
No, you're 29 the rest of your life.
How old are you?
29.
Are you really?
Yeah.
Is he really?
Yeah, I actually am.
But no, you're that old.
But you're 29 the rest of your life.
Jeez, he acts like he's what?
I take that as a compliment, actually. Thank you.
Okay.
You act youthful.
Do I?
Does doing your job keep? Yeah, it does.
Yeah,
it must.
I think so.
Like you have a youthful energy to you.
Yeah, the team helps me stay cool and hip and young. And
you couldn't even get through that. You couldn't even get through it. That's great.
But I think so.
Yeah,
like
you
if you pay attention to the team,
right?
If you care about what they're saying and you want to know what their lives are like, then I think so.
I say this truly seriously. Like our interns keep me that way. Like
and
you're
the
always
fact that
in
you're
touch.
29.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I'm an old soul. You know this.
That's true.
Yeah.
That's true.
I'm an old
in
soul.
real life, real talk.
I've been told that I was born as a 30-year-old.
Are you older than me in real life?
Probably.
Okay.
Yeah. Like in terms of soul age,
sure.
Probably.
How old's my soul?
29.
Okay. That's fine.
Yeah.
I did hear something yesterday.
Oh boy.
On the interview,
Here we go.
You had mentioned in the beginning that you give like talking points that you're going to talk about before. I've never received those.
No, you don't.
Okay.
Yeah.
So how you do that with a lot of people, or just not coaches?
No, that's actually a good question. I've done it.
Just not me.
I do it for ones that ask, and if I gave you talking points,
I would never look at them.
You wouldn't stick to them anyway. So if I gave them to you, it'd be a waste of both of our times, wouldn't it?
But I kind of would like to know that you're doing the prep work.
Oh, okay. Would you like to see?
You know what we're going to talk about.
Do you want to see my bullet points?
I don't think you actually have any. I don't want to see it. Do you?
Look at that.
Okay. Fine. Those aren't questions, though.
I don't write down full questions. I'm more talented than that. Also, I am a big believer, and you know this. I'm a big believer that the best interviews are actually about the follow-up questions. Because I don't know what the most interesting thing is to you until you say it. And then if I can follow up, I actually think those are the best interviews, personally.
Yeah. That's true. Actually, I don't know if that's true. Is that?
I think so.
Okay.
Like when you're talking to me, you ask your entire conversation with me every week is you follow up questions, is you following up to me.
Yeah.
And those are good interviews.
Oh, I see. When I ask you questions back.
It's the follow up in general.
Okay.
Yeah.
Got it.
You want to talk volleyball, or do you want to keep?
No, I just thought that was interesting. I heard that and I was like, I've never received talking points from you ever.
Some coaches.
A thought is that if you actually gave me talking points, maybe we would stay on point.
No.
Okay. No.
I think I know you well enough to know that.
Okay.
Don't you
We should
think?
try it one time and just see what happens.
Well, I can. Yeah,
Okay.
I can.
If I accept from now that I know this.
Yeah,
Okay.
you watch next week. He's gonna at like 12:30. He's gonna decline the calendar invitation, and I'm gonna be like, "Well, I signed up for that, didn't I?" Yeah. You have fun.
You would just fill the
this.
airtime just by yourself, probably, right? What would you do?
Well, today, if you had not shown up, it would have been Will Richardson and Rivaldo Soares talking with the media about men's basketball.
I feel like that's better.
I don't.
Okay. I don't know.
Equal.
Okay.
Man, he's really in a mood today, isn't he?
We lost.
Yeah.
Remember? I can't believe you wanted to talk to me today because you said the only time you like me is when we win.
Well, the only time you like coming on is when
No. Remember what he said? Mm-hmm. He said winning makes you happy. Remember you had the best environment ever a couple weeks ago because football won and soccer won and we won,
great.
so that everything was good in the world. And I said, so because we win, you go, yeah.
Yeah, it's true.
So you're happy when we win and you're not happy when we lose. We lost, so you're not happy which means I'm nervous coming on because now I've made you mad and, toxic relationship.
Wow.
You see this? We're in a trap.
We're
in a trap.
That really went somewhere that I didn't think it was going to go.
Yeah. I should have declined.
Yeah, you should have.
Now that I know.
Anyway.
Volleyball. We can talk volleyball. Do it.
What's coming up Friday? We don't have to talk about anything that happened last weekend.
Oh, no, last weekend was good.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, we lost, but other than that, it was good,
I can't tell if you're serious or not. That one I literally could not tell.
We did a lot of really good things last weekend. And that's going to the Washingtons, it's the hardest trip, I think, in conference. It has been for a while. Really hard to play Washington St. Pullman, which we talked about, and then Washington and Seattle or anywhere is really good. So I think, they're both really tough teams. They're both tournament teams. We lost 2 5-setters, had our chances, didn't pull them off. But I thought we fought really hard. We did a lot of really great things. We just didn't execute, as well as we need to.
I want to ask you about that comeback that you had against Washington. I mean, you're down 2, coming off a 5-set loss. I think a lot of teams, Coach, would have folded. You guys came back. You saved 3 match points. What shifted for the squad to have that sort of fight in the, I guess, second half, a little more than the second half of the match against Washington?
I don't know what shift. I mean, maybe we spun the dial a little bit, so just some different matchups, and I don't know if that helped or not, but just did that. And then I thought we executed our service game much better. We served as poor as we've served all year. We served really poorly this weekend. And those are not 2 environments that you need to serve poorly in. You need to execute that at a high level, and we did not. But I thought for that stretch in sets 3 and 4 at Washington, it was better. We provided a lot more pressure on them, and we didn't miss as many. So it gave us a chance. And then we side up better, but they were hitting like just above 400 for the first 2 sets. And then after that, I think we held them to like 120, 130 for the last 3. So I think we made some good defensive adjustments. The team responded. And we just kept going. And, we can really frustrate you because we dig a lot of balls.
Yeah.
We can do a lot of things. And then Mimi and Brooke were just scoring at such a high clip. And Morgan Lewis came in and provided a lot of offense for us. And, there were close sets before. So you just kept going. And then it went your way. And then you kind of get some momentum going.
Yeah. How true is it that how tough you serve a team correlates to victory? I mean, I feel like you touch on serving quite a bit when we talk.
I think so. I mean, we're not the biggest blocking team we've been. Before we were in the 6-2, and so we had that big block kind of in every rotation, and so it was harder to score on us, I feel like, from that aspect. So because we're not that way in a 5-1, I do think you need to provide more pressure that way so that they're more predictable on their offense, or they have different angles that they have to hit at. They can't set everybody, so that things like that. So I do think that's something that we have to do well for our defense to set up better. So so I think that's probably why I'm talking about it more this year, is because I think it matters to us more this year.
Sure. Matt Ulmer, Oregon volleyball head coach, joining us. All right, a lot of fans want me to ask you, any update on Hannah Pukas? You didn't have her this past weekend. Fans are curious about it.
She's a great person. Yeah, I really like her a lot.
There you go.
No, she suffered an injury. We don't know when she'll be back, but she's working to recover.
How nice is it then and maybe nice is not the right way to phrase this. How beneficial is it that now you can prepare for that in practice for a week, maybe?
Well, I mean, I think we've talked about it from the beginning, or I've said that, the good problem to have is how much depth we have.
Sure.
Right. And so we talked about, is that a good blah, blah, all that stuff. But I mean, the fact that we have Elise Ferreira, who is so experienced and so good, Hannah's been great. Elise has been great. And so that she can step in. I think for Elise now, Hannah kind of got in a rhythm, for probably about a month, since Florida. And so now I think Elise needs to find that rhythm with the team. And I thought Elise played fantastic, good enough definitely for us to win. Again, 2 really tough matches on the road. And that's a tough week for her to, jump into that. But I thought she handled it really well. So now I just think more time to work on those connections and kind of figure out here's what she wants to do in certain rotations with different hitters, and just kind of get that communication back with them. I think that's really going to help her.
Friday, 8 o'clock, we mentioned the matchup with USC. Keys to success. So what's it going to take for you guys? What are you working on in practice this week?
Well, kind of what we just mentioned, right? Just making sure we know what we're doing in our rotations, so that we can side out a little bit more efficiently. We really need a little bit more offense out of our middle attack. I thought our serve receive was in spurts pretty good, but there were some different serving locations and different rotations that gave us problems, so trying to work through that. And then again, just can we be more consistent servers? USC is I mean, right now they're playing really well right now. They have an outside Skylar Fields, who's one of the very best in the country. She was National Player of the Week this week. She's tough to stop. So I don't think you get to stop her. It's one of those players you're just trying to slow her down and make it as hard for her as possible. And again, it's going to take really good team defense to do that. So they're tough to beat at home. I think the last 4 or 5 times we played them, it's been a 5-setter. So I expect that we will bring our best, and it'll be a great match.
2:00 on Sunday against UCLA as well. Back-to-back road trips. That's tough, isn't it? When you're going on the road, it's always tough in this conference.
But again, I think that's why we did what we did in the preseason.
Yeah.
It's just trying to set ourselves up for, it's just what we do. It's part of it. So definitely these are 2 harder road trips that you have to do. Again, I thought we played well, even though we didn't come out with the win. We did a lot of things well, and so we need to continue to do that. And again, just execute a little bit better in some certain stretches.
It's amazing to sit here too and talk about a couple losses. And I mean, you and I joke, right? Like, you always don't feel good after you lose, but the good teams are the ones that respond after a loss and get better as a result of it, right? It feels like you guys are doing that.
Yep. I mean, again, can we learn from it? I think with us, like, we know we're pretty good.
Yeah.
Like, I think we have a lot of belief in our program, our team, our individuals. So there is no panic button. It's just, dang, we let an opportunity slip. And so now, again, what do you learn from it? And, can we work on some things this week to make us a couple points better? And can we handle some situations a little bit better in the game? I think this group, again, is mature enough and has good belief. The culture's super strong, where, we'll turn it back around and we'll be better.
Thanks for being here.
Thanks for inviting me. Thanks for having me.
Thanks for accepting the invite.
I will do it again next week.
Will you?
I think so.
Okay. That sounds right.
I miss Scott if we did.
That sounds right.
Yeah.
That's under.
You're wonderful. You're great. And the interview yesterday was really nice. You did a good job.
Thank you.
Yeah.
The interviewer is only as good as the interviewee.
I believe that in your case.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah. In all seriousness, though, she will be missed, won't she?
Yeah. Yeah. Absolutely.
Really, really happy for Lisa
really?
Peterson.
That's why I keep telling her. So happy for you.
But
yeah,
we're going to miss you, Lisa.
Yeah, we will. Bye. Go Ducks.
Here I am. I thought he was about to do a riff
no,
about
I'm not
Lisa.
No.
Okay.
But you did a great job.
Thanks.
That was nice. Yeah.
Thanks. Did I do a great job with you today?
C-. Wow. Yeah, you got a degree. Congratulations. We'll be better next week. See, again, you overpromised and underdelivered. I told you. Don't do that. It's going to be the best interview ever. Remember?
I say that every week.
Okay, well then we can't believe you. You can't keep saying the same thing.
I'm just trying to up your game.
Okay. Hell, it didn't work.
He's Matt Ulmer, Oregon volleyball head coach. Ducks on the road. Los Angeles road trip, 8 o'clock on Friday, 2 o'clock on Sunday. Pac-12 Networks for the broadcasts. Coach, good luck down there.
Love you. Thanks.
Was he serious?
I
think he might
I love
have.
Joey.
I think he didn't mean that.
Thanks, Joe.
Thanks, Coach.
Love you.
Back after this on the Oregon Sports Network from Learfield.
Love you, Joey.
From the weight room to the classroom, on the field and off it, On Point proudly supports University of Oregon athletics because student athletes do so much more than bring us pride on game day. They bring our entire community together in Eugene and all across Oregon. So whether you're watching the game in the stadium, at home, or at your favorite local business, their success makes all of us stronger. On Point Community Credit Union, onpointcu.com. Federally insured by NCUA, Equal Housing Opportunity.
At Shadow Hills Country Club, our all-inclusive event pricing allows us to take care of all of the details while you enjoy your event. Our wedding garden, expansive grounds, ballroom, and meeting rooms can accommodate any size event and come complete with full catering and service staff. From weddings to business and social events, Shadow Hills offers the benefits of a resort atmosphere and the peace of a country setting just minutes from downtown Eugene. For more details, call us today or go to shadowhillsevents.com.
More Duck Insider coming up on the Oregon Sports Network from Learfield.
This is an important message from the Mine Safety and Health Administration. Mining fatalities, accidents, and injuries are preventable. Taking a minute to approach your task safely can protect you and your fellow miners from injury and death. Staying alert and focused can keep you safe. Do it safe. Do it right. Whether buckling a seatbelt or securing equipment, these quick safety measures can prevent injuries and fatalities. Take time. Save lives. For more resources, visit MSHA.gov.
Farming is dangerous. There's dangers all around us.
We go through safety training and try and do these things to make sure accidents don't happen.
You don't want to hit a gas pipe because that's your life. The other part of it is if you hit certain things, you're liable for it.
Farm Safe 811 starts with you. Always call 811 and wait for any underground lines to be marked.
Always keep safety in the back of your mind. Just stay humble.
For more information, go to farmsafe811.org.
We're back in the Country Financial Studio. Duck Insider, presented by On Point Community Credit Union. Coach Ulmer just left. I can't tell you what I told him off the air. I just can't do it. Because there can be no public record of what I told him off the air. In all seriousness, though, Coach and I have talked about this off the air quite a bit, actually, that, after you lose, it does stink, right? But I love what Coach said as he was exiting. He said, you know what? Yeah, you lose, it doesn't feel good. Nobody wants to lose. But when you lose and it impacts who you are, that's when you end up maybe losing another match. Can't impact you like that, right? It's where one loss beats you twice. That's why coaches talk about that. I think this team is going to be just fine going on the road. But back-to-back tough road trips, I'll tell you what, when the volleyball schedule got released, when the Pac-12 released it, I was like, man, going to Pullman and Seattle, and then you're going to L.A., back-to-back weeks. This is a critical stretch for the standings in Pac-12 volleyball, not just for the Ducks, for everybody, because of the way the schedule stacks up. But you know what? I say that. Pac-12 is just good. Everybody's good in the Pac-12. This is a conference right now that may end up with like 6-7 teams in the tournament. Again, this keeps happening. Tomorrow on the program, Armand Gates, Chuck Martin, new men's basketball assistant coaches. We're going to get to know them in depth, talk a little bit about the season that's upcoming. You heard from Dana Altman today. Going to hear from a couple of his brand new assistant coaches on the program tomorrow. Rivaldo Soares, Will Richardson, I mentioned that. We do have those interviews ready for you. We'll get to them this week as well. Picks on Friday, by the way. I won't be here. See ya.
Question: what will you find on all over-the-counter or OTC medicine packages to help you choose the right drug and use it safely? The answer: the Drug Facts label. This label lists the medicine's active ingredients and purpose, how much to take, and warnings you should know before using it. Remember, even OTC medicines you buy without a prescription can cause side effects you don't want. So follow the information listed on the Drug Facts label. For more information, visit fda.gov/drugfactslabel.